Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I promised we would go through the indictment, and now finally I've actually read it, because again, I don't just say things or go on the fly, and if I do, if something just comes out, I let you know that I haven't looked at it. But I finally read through the indictments and the letter to the judge saying, listen, you need to keep this monster locked up, and it's time to give some analysis. And I also want to point out, although it is not in the indictments, apparently they have 20 separate videos of this guy with underage girls. This was reported yesterday, I believe, and I tweeted it out. I even mentioned it, that we were going to cover this thing, but 20. And when you read these indictments, by the way, so the first one I want to go into really quick, because we're not going to read the whole thing. Number one, it's extremely repetitive, but number two, there's a lot of, just graphic language that I'd rather not get into. This indictment right here, the United States, the federal RICO case, the one Homeland Security picked him up on, has two co-conspirators, Daryl McDavid and Milton Brown, also known as June Brown. And why is that important? Because all of this, at least one of the minors, because there are, I believe there's either 4 or 5, and they're as young as 12 to 13 when he picks them up. Let me repeat that, 12 to 13 when he picks them up. A lot of this delves around that first tape, the first case, payoffs that go off on, I think, until 2015 to the family members, getting them out of the country, getting them to lie, getting another minor who was involved in a video with Kelly and this minor, the one that we know about from the initial case, not only to give Kelly back tapes, because there's many, I think there's 4 or 5 tapes that are also mentioned just in this one. And then the New York one is completely separate, is this is in the Eastern District of New York. I was wrong, it's not the Southern District. They got him in the Eastern District of New York. And this one is newer things, and I think there are 5 Jane Does, and 3 out of the 5 were underage, and this involves trafficking in videos, okay? But really, the trafficking stuff is much bigger. And I believe the underage encounter, the last one in that one, is about 2014 or 15. All right, so this monster's been at it, and this is, again, we only know of so many. So let's get into it, okay? So like I said, the 98, 99, they actually go into this previous case. Here's video 1, and that is depicting minor 1, and that's who we're talking about. That's the one that's in the infamous Pee on You tape. And remember, a lot is going to revolve around this. Okay, so the defendant did knowingly employ, use, persuade, induce, entice, and coerce a minor, namely minor 1, to engage in explicit contact for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct, namely video 2, and defendant knew or had reason to know that such visual depiction would be transported in interstate or foreign commerce or mailed, and it actually was transported. Now, this is a theme you're going to see again and again with these videos, that he's producing them, and then he's taking them state to state. You know, what's being done with them is not told, but, again, they talk about the accomplices here, and the procurers, the groomers, the enablers. All right? So here, again, minor 1, here's video 3. So yet another video and more commerce on that. These are the days of, you had to have a VHS tape. A digital camera in even 98 was kind of rare. Yeah, I guess you could have a digital camera. I doubt it. It would have been like a handy cam. A DV cam is more than likely what you had. I guess not VHS. It would be on a VHS type, but a DV. So here we go, minor 1 in video 4. Okay, so let's continue down here. So here is where they bring up McDavid, Daryl McDavid, and how he was a manager for Kelly and was very much involved in these victims, and how they were transported, how they were paid off later, et cetera, as well as Milton Brown here. Okay? So here we go. Here's the list. Minor 1, 96 or 97, 12 or 13 years old. Minor 2, 17 years old in 97. Minor 3, 15 years old in 96. Minor 4, 16 years old in 99. And minor 5, 13 or 14 in 97 or 98. Okay? Kelly was born in 1967. So obviously you can see what this says. Okay? And then you can see what that says. All under the age of 18 years old. Okay? And then you can see what this said. So right there, we've got 5 minors, multiple videos. There you go. And that's a 4-year period. How much of this stuff you think's out there? I mean, give me a break. It's incredible to me that he's gotten away with it for this long. But I'm so glad that people raised their voice and the public became aware. And now we're starting to get justice. Starting to get justice. Because, again, you know, they talk about a lot of the abuse in here. But, I mean, look at this stuff. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So they talk about the previous investigation. They talk about the previous trial here of video 1 and minor 1. Okay, and that is the tape that I think is the infamous tape. But again, minor 1 is that person. When we scroll down, you can see that they knowingly altered, destroyed, mutilated, concealed, covered up, falsified, and made false entry into the record, document, and tangible object. In other words, they lied their asses off to obstruct and influence the investigation. Shocking. Shocking. So here's the conspiracy with McDavid. Those charges, trying to collect missing videos. At one point, they get a missing video from one of these women and then make them take a polygraph to see if there are any other videos out there. Okay? So, again, we're all the way to 2001 and 2009, and they would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for obtaining and returning multiple videos that they knew depicted Kelly engaged in acts with minors. See how long this is going on? And this is how they were able to catch him, and it's not double jeopardy. He's trying to get a bunch of his underage CP tapes that have been out there for a long time with multiple victims. Here you'll see the minor 1 and minor 2 tape right here. Paid minor 2 to give back a tape of the 3-way with the 2 underage girls, $250,000. Okay? And then here's another one, $100,000 for their efforts to return more videotapes that they knew happened with minor 1 and minor 2. Okay? You see? Take a look. It's right there. Here's the polygraph examination that minor 2 was forced to take. Unbelievable. And then all the way in June of 2008, paid another $170,000 to cancel a press conference talking about the recovered videos depicting Kelly in these acts. They got this guy dead to rights this time, guys. I promise you. So, as you can see, they say here they were persuading other individuals, but not limited to minor 1, minor 2, minor 1's parents, minor 2, and minor 5 to falsify and make false entry into the record. So 2 of the other underage girls that were involved were lying about their relationship and minor 1's relationship, a.k.a. the girl in the P-tape, back in that initial trial. That's how deep this runs. And the payments that were going to the parents and these people, I mean, just let's keep going down. Here's all the falsifying information acts. You can see this. But I'm telling you, I think until 2000, here it is, January 2014 and October 2015, they were making monthly payments to minor 1 via Kelly's businesses. Okay? So they were paying these people off for well over a decade after this stuff happened. All right, so let's go over to this case here, which is different. This is, again, the Eastern District of New York. And these are totally different charges and show that he was still engaged in this. And these are more trafficking charges. They talk about iMessage and they talk about FaceTime, making these deals. But to go into the letter to the judge, so you can get a little better idea. By the way, they're telling they don't want him out. Here's Jane Doe 1. She's 16. Met him in 99. Okay, she's underage. Jane Doe 2 was of age, but is involved with Jane Doe 3. And Jane Doe 3, of course, was not of age. She's 16. I think Jane Doe 4 was a minor, and they're not even saying how old she was. She was under 18. And then Jane Doe 5, I think, let's see. Notably, during the encounter in the hotel room, the defendant told Jane Doe 5 in some substance that if she was really 15 or 16 years old, she could tell him, suggesting he would have preferred for Jane Doe 5 to be younger. So she was of age, I believe. But it seemed like Kelly wanted her to be underage. But he was still trafficking in her. There's a lot of charges in this indictment about holding women in rooms, threatening them. Again, managers, bodyguards, drivers, personal assistants, and runners for Kelly. Many of them, I'm sure, have turned state's witness by now. As well as members of Kelly's entourage, compromise an enterprise. So they keep referring to it as the enterprise throughout. And illegal sexual activity with Kelly. You know, when you get down to the bottom line, they say women and girls. Again, that's because some of these women were of age. Phone calls, text messages, iMessages, and FaceTime. This is how they're making the case with the accomplishments. Let's see. And now traveling. Again, Connecticut comes into this later. So here are some of those torture allegations. Basically not allowed to leave their room without receiving permission for Kelly. They had to wear baggy clothing. They were not allowed to look at other men. They had to call him daddy. And they talk about overseas that they ran this operation and this enterprise. Although they don't really get too far into that, okay? So they talk about his associates, okay, what they were not limited to, but engaging with sexual activity with girls under the age of 18. You see? So they got him on a lot of these sexually transmitted disease charges, and that's in there all over the place, and they especially use it when the girl is of age, aka 2 of the chain does. But, you know, there was verbal abuse, threats, recruiting for groomers. That's what they had to do. They had to groom other women. All these freak shows do that, by the way. Have them groom other ones. Oh, we need more underage girls. They never get enough. Okay? This is it. I think it's over. I think he's going to prison. I don't think they're going to let him out. He's not going to beat these cases. Period. Amen. He's going to serve the rest of his life in jail. 100%. Okay? He's the leader of the enterprise. So, here we go. In 1999, this is where we have sexual exploitation of a child. This is Jane Doe 1. This is the 99 case. Basically, everything that I highlighted here is highlighted in legalese here. And that's it. I think they got this mother trucker. Take a look. I mean, they talk about against her will, took her across state lines. Here's the Illinois part where it's in Chicago. These are all new charges, 2003, 2004. These are all way, way past the stuff from the other indictment by a federal grand jury. So here you go, 2009, 2010. See, this is the Racketeering Act. He's not going anywhere but prison. So this is it. This is finally here. The fall of R. Kelly. Hopefully a lot more of these high-level pedophiles, because there's a lot more of them. Brian Singer. Is that you out there, Brian? Dan Schneider? Huh? What about him? There's a lot of them out there, guys. And I'm hoping that the dominoes are beginning to fall. If you enjoy these videos, we're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a day. That was number 4. We did one on Adnan Khashoggi, the Cashless Society Control Grid, beginning to blossom in Sweden. We've got a Mega Epstein update from yesterday, as well as James Patterson's take on it. We've done everything Nexium, Acosta, Bohemian Grove, Big Brother that you can imagine, and much more. I'm always taking suggestions. If you're not a subscriber, you enjoyed this material, now's the time to hit that subscribe button. Hit the like, share, And guys, please ring that bell for notifications. But mostly, if you can, help me out on the GoFundMe. We're $50 away from actually making it to the monthly goal with about 2 days to go. I think we're obviously going to be there. It's already been a huge win. I'm going to start another one. I'm going to continue to bring this the news that nobody else will. We do it from a nonpartisan perspective. It's never been about left or right. It's always been about right and wrong. So if you enjoy my stuff, like I said, please sub, share, hit that bell so you get the notifications and can join us live. And I want to thank everybody out there who has donated and shared my stuff and emailed it to others and put it on blogs and has an open mind and doesn't play team politics. So once again, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the flip side.